What's going on, Bulldogs and Bulldog families? My name is Mr. Chitwood, and I'm going to be your student's teacher for World History for this upcoming school year. A couple things before we get started. Obviously, this is a virtual back-to-school night, first one of these that I think anybody has ever done. But a couple things to note is that I'm just going to briefly touch on some things that I've already kind of talked about in my syllabus video, but if you haven't already watched that, go ahead and either scroll to the end of this video. There should be a link there for you to hit the syllabus video tab, or kind of stay tuned for the next, hopefully, 5 or 6 minutes while I kind of go through this presentation for you all. I am Mr. Chitwood. I am located in F101, or also known as the Leadership Room. I am also the Activities Director and Leadership Teacher here at Tracy High School as well. So, a couple things about me before we get started. I graduated from Sonora High School, so I'm local, kind of, not really, but I graduated from Sonora High School. I'm not going to tell you guys when. You'd probably guess not too long ago. I got my associate's degree in history and politics at Cabrillo College when I moved out to Santa Cruz, and later got my bachelor's in history and politics at UCSC as well. And then in the summer of 2017, I received my master's degree in education from UCSC. What are we going to be studying in world history this year? Well, the first semester we are starting right now with an introduction to the course, talking about skills, talking about community building and relationship building. Super, super important stuff for this year, especially being such apart from each other when we normally would have been doing a lot of hands-on activities and kind of icebreakers to get to know each other. We've been focusing a lot over the past 3 weeks on getting to know each other. That's our current unit. We're then going to jump into the rise of democracy and ancient political thought, followed by 17th and 18th century revolutions, including the American revolutions as well. The Industrial Revolution after that, and we're going to wrap up this first semester talking about imperialism and colonialism. The second semester is typically where the fun part comes in. Students typically like talking about World War I and World War II. That's when we get to it. We'll also be talking about the rise of interwar revolutions and dictators, and then eventually we'll get to the Cold War. And towards the end of the year, we'll start talking about modern global issues. How are we going to be studying this? History nowadays and how we teach it is so much different than how even I learned not too long ago in high school, and back maybe when some of you guys were in high school, was this kind of rote memorization of facts. And dates and places. That's not necessarily what we want kids to be focusing on. Yes, that stuff is important, but really we're focusing on, especially with the Common Core, things like sourcing, contextualization, corroboration, and close reading. And some of the students should have an understanding of some of these things already. I've been kind of throwing it out there in class here and there, but really they embody what is called historical thinking skills. This is how we are going to be studying history, and is going to be the driving force to understanding what it is that we're doing with the content to interpret what happened in history, how we can see the inner workings of it and outer workings of it in today's society. What are my expectations of students? Really to log in and arrive on time and prepared to learn, to actively participate in class, to finish their classwork/homework, and to ask questions when they need help, to be organized, and to respect all people and opinions in the classroom. Obviously, this mode of learning is different and it is new to everybody. However, I have been kind of teaching with this model for the past couple years. I've been doing what is called a flipped learning model in my classroom, where most of the instruction, the direct instruction, like lecture type stuff, is done outside of class time, and we've practiced on skills and projects and hands-on stuff with history inside the class time. And that's not going to change being in a distance learning format or in a regular learning format. For me, we focus on the practicing of history. That way, when kids have those questions, they're not at home and they have to wait till the next day. It's the practicing of history, using the skills that typically throw kids a curveball, and really giving them the opportunity to ask questions in class of me. I give a lot of time in class to work on things, to ask questions as they're doing it, not by themselves. So students oftentimes will get a lot of time in class to work on assignments, but they may also be asked to do specific things like watch a lecture video on my YouTube channel. Go like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Got about 130 subscribers, 140 somewhere. Maybe we can bump those numbers up. But really giving students the opportunity to engage with the material, listen to how I might lecture or how another video might talk about a topic, and then come into class with those questions the following day or the day after that. So really it's shifting the direct instruction outside of class and kind of giving that in-class time with that flipped model where we're evaluating, analyzing, and applying the practices and techniques of history, and shifting that understanding and remembering aspect of it outside of class. So with that, that's really what my class is going to look like in a nutshell. You guys got a lot of this from the syllabus already, but if you still have any questions, again, I think that syllabus is going to come up somewhere right about now in the end screens, but what you can do is click there to learn more, or you can send me an email and we can chat. I do wish we could have students in here. It's an empty classroom. It's a sad classroom, and hopefully we can have students in these desks soon. But until then, this is where we're at, and we're going to make the best of it. So with that said, I hope you guys have a fantastic morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you guys are watching this, and we'll talk to you later.